When most people think of homeschooling, they picture kids sitting around a table. Maybe it's the dining room that's been converted into a schoolroom, a stack of textbooks, and a full day of lessons, just like school, but at home. And honestly, that's exactly how a lot of families start, and how some families, myself included, do continue to homeschool. It feels familiar, it feels safe, and it feels like the right way to do it. But here's the thing. While the traditional or school at home approach does work beautifully for some families, it can completely burn out others. Hi, I'm Erica, homeschool mom of three, former special education teacher, and founder of a thriving homeschool hybrid center. I started this channel to help new homeschooling families and those considering taking the leap find their way in an often overwhelming sea of information. When most people start homeschooling, they have no idea there are different styles to choose from. In reality, there are many, each with its own strengths, challenges, and unique feel. That's why it's so important to understand your options before you dive in. Choosing a homeschool style isn't about putting yourself into a box. It's about finding a framework that supports your values, works with your children's needs, and fits the lifestyle you actually want to live. Over the next few weeks, I'll be covering the major homeschool styles, each in its own video, to give you clarity and help guide you toward the right fit for your family. Today, we're starting with the traditional style, what it looks like in real life, the pros and cons, and how to decide if it's a good match for you. So without further ado, let's discuss the first style. Traditional or school at home. This is the closest to what you'd see in a public or private school setting. It usually follows a full day schedule, grade level textbooks or workbooks, tests, and sometimes even report cards. It might look like starting school at 9 a.m. every day, following a full curriculum for each subject, or an all-in-one curriculum for all subjects, and having a daily or weekly planner to stay on track. The pros are that it's easy to find a curriculum. There's a familiar structure, which is especially comforting for new homeschoolers. It aligns with state standards and testing. The cons are that it can lead to burnout, especially with younger children. There's less flexibility, and it may not suit different learning styles. You might like the style if you or your child thrive with routine and predictability. You want a clearly defined roadmap with little prep, or you're transitioning from public school and want a familiar structure. This style might not be a good choice for your family if you or your child do better without strict routines, if you or your child get overwhelmed with too much bookwork, or if you're looking for a more flexible, interest-led approach to learning. So that's a quick look at the traditional homeschool style. If this resonates with you, it could be a great starting point. And remember, you can always adapt to fit your family's needs over time. Next time, we'll explore classical homeschooling and see why it's one of the most time-tested methods out there. If you want a quick overview of all the homeschool styles plus a quiz to help you find your best fit, grab my free Homeschool Styles reference guide below. See you next time.